A Shop for Killers episode 4 starts in a court where Gene Man is being questioned. A lawyer asks him if he saw the defendant killing civilians. The defendant is a man who looks at Gene Man with a sinister smile. The scene suddenly shifts to the phone call Gene Man got right after his mother's funeral. A man named Jun Cheon tells him that Bale is still alive and after his family. Gene Man drives to the hospital but gets caught in a literal jam when a truck rams into his car and a group of people start shooting at him. At present, Song-jo's men are spread out in Gene Man's warehouse when the lights go out. Min-hai starts taking them out one by one. She kills everyone except the leader, Mr. Kim, who is the only one who can hold his ground against her. However, she gets him in the end too. In the storeroom below, the man named Brother throws handcuffs at Jian and tells her to put them on Jong-min. Instead, she takes him by surprise and holds him in a chokehold till he passes out. She removes his mask. A flashback shows a slightly younger Jian with a boy named Jun Myong. They were dating and one day, Jun Myong tries to kiss her when he drops her off. Before he can, Gene Man and Pazin interrupt them and demand the boy show his license for driving a bike. Later, we see Jian working at a restaurant while a group of students from her school sit nearby. Jun Myong enters but leaves once he sees Jian there, disappointing her. She comes home and berates Gene Man for behaving oddly with the people around her, like her friend Min-suk and her tutor. But turns out, he had a valid reason for each of those times. Still, Jian feels like Gene Man's locking her up. He agrees to let her move out if she can hit him in the face once. She assumes he's joking and then asks if her parents really died an ordinary death. He avoids it and tells her to hit him. She tries but, naturally, fails. At some point later, Pazin teaches Jian to work the forklift in the warehouse. She uses the opportunity to try and hit Gene Man but fails again. Pazin ends up stopping her going after her uncle and, at Gene Man's orders, he makes her pass out. Jian is rightfully furious when she wakes up. Afterwards, Jian goes to Pazin's Thai restaurant and asks him to teach her how to fight, a martial arts style known as Muay Thai. He agrees to do so for 50,000 won a week. He takes her to a room in the back and they start training immediately. A montage of the training follows. Jian gets better and stronger even though she's still unable to hit Gene Man. One day, Jian comes across a group of boys cornering her old friend from school, Min-suk. Min-suk runs away and Jian becomes their next target. She uses her new skills to knock down 2 boys and Gene Man appears to take care of the third. The police, called by Min-suk, come soon after. On the way back, Gene Man drops her off at Pazin's restaurant. But Jian finds the police there as well as a group of people from whom Pazin had borrowed money. He seems to have run away. At present, Jian and Jong-min find a setup of security cameras in the storeroom. There is footage from multiple places including her school and the bathroom. She rounds on Brother and asks how long he's been watching her. He says they need to urgently go help Min-hai since more bad guys will be there soon. When Jong-min puts the light on, Brother cowers as the brightness hurts him. Jian gives him a hooded jacket and demands an explanation. He starts to give one but Jong-min interrupts and tells Jian he's only trying to evoke her pity. When Jong-min is distracted, Brother runs off, yelling at Jian to not trust Jong-min. She chases after him but ends up falling down a chute into a small room. Brother closes the trapdoor above her. Down there, Jian finds another setup of computers featuring camera footage. Upstairs, Brother makes the lights go out and sneaks up on Jong-min, tossing him and then locking him up to a wall. He then speaks to Jian directly through the cameras and tells her to open a drawer to her right. Inside is a handover guide for transferring ownership of Mirthhelp from Gene Man to Jian. She consents to the transfer and, as the new owner, orders Brother to get her out. But once she's out, she takes his gun and orders him to release Jong-min. Brother reveals that Jong-min is the reason Gene Man died. Jian makes brother release Jiangmin anyway. But she still points her gun at both of them, unsure of whom to trust. She agrees to hear brother's side of the story. As per his instructions, she moves to open a video file, but Jiangmin dissuades her. In an attempt to convince Jian, Jiangmin says he was the one who told Jinman she was in the school basement all those years ago. A flashback shows a 13-year-old Jian holding a small kitten. Jinman agrees to let her keep it, but warns her that she must take responsibility if he dies as well. At present, she sees Minhai in one of the security cameras and tells brother to go give her guns and medicines. Before leaving, he gives Jian a pair of sunglasses as a gift. He reaches the warehouse and Minhai recognizes him. Downstairs, Jiangmin gives Jian a hug and thanks her. But it's really an excuse for him to inject her with a sedative. He admits he was also the one who locked her in the school basement back then. Before she passes out, Jian looks at the sunglasses. A flashback shows young Jian crying over the kitten, who died. At present, she asks Jiangmin who he is. An epilogue shows Songzhou and his team receive a fancy new gun that can be remotely operated at the end of A Shop for Killers Episode 4. The episode review. A Shop for Killers Episode 4 makes things a notch more interesting by adding fodder to the mystery. We now know that Jinman testified against someone and that someone probably took revenge on his family. There is also the addition of brother, whose identity and hinted backstory build the show's intrigue. And the twist that Jiangmin is really the bad guy. Considering his previous timid behavior, this is a really good twist to the tale. It also makes the viewer question why his story was accepted with no evidence at all. A Shop for Killers also has a distinct style to the show. The montage of Jian's training, accompanied by lilting music, is really fun to watch. Watching Minhai take out the armed men one by one was an absolute joy as well. The camera work, the editing and the direction all work together in a smooth flow. It elevates the already intriguing story with its sleek visuals and gives the show a distinct character.